healing the mentally sick and the emotionally unstable, and so forth and so on. And so for me, brother, I think that's an excellent question. For me, the way I deal with it is I have no expectations, and therefore I'm never disappointed. Honestly, I no longer put my faith in man. I know that's kind of hard to do, particularly for those of you who are of the college age. I understand that or the traditional college age, I should say. I understand that may be difficult, but having experienced so much hurt before, even from some family members, because I used to really believe that if you go off. And I have a TV show, I have a radio show, I have a magazine, I'm a tenured professor, I travel around the world, I'm going to spend a month in China in December, this December, I'm doing all these things, and I still have people in my family say, oh, you think you're all that? No, I don't think I'm all that, you think I think I'm all that, and by the way, God said I'm all that, so therefore I am all that. So what I try to do is understand that I have no expectations of man, and I don't listen to what people say anymore. I hear them. Did y'all catch that? Yeah. I don't listen to what people say. Another thing I do, now this is going to be juxtaposed and probably somewhat different from some of my colleagues up here, but I don't carry business cards. I carry them, but I'm selective on who. You know why I don't carry business cards? Because it's a big game, and I know my brother in the networking fields are going to, Brother Frazier's going to get on me about that, I know. But I don't carry it because to me it's, we go through the motions. Oh, let me get your card, 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 let me get your card. And then all of a sudden it's like, half of the people you don't hear from, or if they're emailing you, they're emailing you on something totally different than what you thought. I mean, and so for me, what I try to do is, if you really want to contact me, I make myself accessible. I answer all my emails. My assistant don't answer my emails. I answer every single email. I average about 205 emails a day. I answer each and every one of them. So if you really want to contact me, you can contact me. So for the people, I digress a little bit. So my response, and I'm sure some of my colleagues may have different perspectives on this, but my response is that for the people who want to hate on you, they're going to hate anyway. And I look at Jesus Christ himself, and I don't mean to offend anyone if Jesus is not your Lord and Savior, but he's mine, and I'm not ashamed to say it. Okay? I just look at the Bible, and I look at the only perfect being that's ever walked the face of this earth, Jesus Christ, who he fed the hungry. He housed those who were homeless. I mean, he gave clothes to the naked. I mean, he gave wisdom to the unwise. I mean, he gave so much to so many. And he's the only perfect being. And the same people that he did it for, the same people. Now, mind you what I said first. He was the only perfect being that ever walked the face of this earth. And the people who crucified him were the same people whom he helped. And so if they did that to Jesus Christ, and I don't know about you, but on my best day, I'm nothing but a filthy rag. Yeah. And I don't see too many best days. I'm just a real person. I'm just real. What you see is what you get, and if you don't like it, that's you. What you think about me is none of my business. That's between you and your self-esteem. It has absolutely nothing to do with me. So the way I deal with the haters, I let them hate on. I mean, I don't sit around and whine and complain. If somebody says something about me, just like a good friend of mine, she told me the other day, if somebody's talking about you, just guess what? You are just that important. You're just that important. So the way I deal with it, I don't deal with it. I don't read my own press clippings. When I give speeches the next day, there are clippings in the paper about, but Dr. Jones is at Western Michigan University giving the Martin Luther King Day address, and he said, and most times they're going to be not quoted right, Dr. Jones did this and Dr. Jones did that. My mama told me a long time ago, God rest her soul, she said, son, don't read your own press clippings, no matter how good or bad, because neither one of them are the truth. Completely the truth. And so, brothers, please don't get hung up. And this is more a generic thing. I'm passionate, as you can see, about it. I was so passionate, I wrote a speech about it. You can go to letyourhatersbegetmotivated.com and hear my whole speech on Let Your Haters Be Get Motivated. Because I tell you why. And I thank God for my good friend and colleague, Dr. Naeem Akbar, who helped me understand psychologically why we do the things we do. We don't even have time for all that, but that's my response. Anybody else?
I think the biggest part is how you have to, back to knowing yourself. I keep it simple. If somebody does something to you and you don't like what they did, It doesn't mean you have to disrespect them. You respect them for who they are and move on. So if you keep some resentment in your mind about something somebody did to you, male or female, or you keep resentment in your mind about an action that's happened to you by a group or something, and it stays there, and you get mad when you think about it, you're not affecting them. You're bringing yourself down. You're giving them free rent in your mind that you could be using for something more positive. So what you learn, and it's not something you can do when you write it down on a piece of paper and you think you're going to do it. You have to practice this. It's not turning the other cheek. You just have to, I respect you for who you are. And I'll move on. I know who I am. So when you choose your board of directors, choose them with people who are positive like you are. And if somebody else is not positive, that's fine. They'll find a group of people to be with. They'll all be there, and they'll all be happy in their group. If you want to go north, and you're in a car with a bunch of people going south, get out the damn car.
It's really that simple.
Let's just keep it simple.
Just keep it simple. Thank you, brother. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. What we're going to do is, because this is really getting good, and I'm looking at the audience, being a communicator, I'm reading nonverbals. This is really good. And although we have a beautiful sister in the back of the room snuck in, we're not going to... Oh, okay, all right. That's good, but that's all right, because, you know, without you, we wouldn't be here, so it's all good. But what we want to do, we will get through all of these questions in line. So, brothers, I see some of you have been waiting for about 45 minutes. I'm very observant, so believe me, we will get through all of this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask all the brothers to keep their answers a little shorter, including myself. And then so that we can get through all of this. So, brother, I'm going to ask you to come up, and if you can succinct your question a little more, that would be great, if you can. Yes, sir.
Kind of under the weather, but my name is Terrence Usher. I'm from Alabama State University, and I basically want to know, how would an individual overcome being in college and having people in his corner where they're supporting them, and all of a sudden are not able to support them? How does an individual move on to their goals when they have no one to no longer help them and they have nothing?
When you say no, make sure that we understand. When you say no one to help, you mean in terms of your advisors and faculty and staff on campus, or friendships? From
financial standpoint, okay. And from, I would say, emotional and moral support.
Gotcha. Okay. One panelist can answer that. Go ahead.
Well, give me your business card. No, I think as you move on, I mean, obviously there are phases. I mean, you're going to build new infrastructure, new friends, and new mentors. You know, it's just getting in and starting to just continue to follow your roadmap and what you have set for yourself, but surround yourself with the right people that can help get there.
And it's kind of like what Hill mentioned earlier about having, and I'll paraphrase it, having that board, like that personal board of advisors. Just when I was coming down, my mentor actually texted me from, I forget which country he's in. He's the president of North Carolina Central. When I have a question that I needed, and he's out of the country, but he knows me so well. When I have a question, we have that type of connection. So I think, but I use Charlie, Dr. Nelms, for different things that I might use Dr. Ammons, who's the president of Florida A&M University. So I use people for different things. So I think having that board, brother, and I heard something in your voice. I don't know where you went, but I heard something in your voice. And I want to talk to you afterwards, okay? Because I want to make sure that you have the support that you need. Because there's always someone out there that's willing to help. There's always, no one is ever alone. So, you know, I'm not trying to call you out, but, you know, I've been blessed with certain things, so I heard something. Yes.